Hey everyone, Kelly Dean Allen here. Now then, early 70s British metal pioneers Budgie and the monster riff from Guts, the opening track from their 1971 debut album. Never heard of Budgie? Well, you're not alone. That band name certainly didn't help matters. Though one of the absolute heaviest bands of the early 70s, they just couldn't seem to find much of an audience and pretty much got left in the wake of the more successful British hard rock bands of the day, the likes of Sabbath, Deep Purple, and Led Zeppelin. Comparable, probably closest to early Sabbath, they remained, like I said, fairly obscure throughout much of their career, yet many future titans of hard rock metal have cited Budgie as a very important influence on their own music, and many of them have covered their songs over the years, including the likes of Iron Maiden, Metallica, Megadeth, Van Halen, the Melvins, Queens of the Stone Age, Alice in Chains, and Soundgarden. Definitely a band worth checking out if you find what I just stated somewhat intriguing. They were really bloody good, but like I said, just couldn't seem to find an audience for their particular brand of early 70s metal. Regardless, enough chit-chat. Let's learn how to play this one, yeah? Good then, Budgie and Guts. Rather strange song title, but if you know Budgie, you know that they were known for their strange song titles. Crash Course in Brain Surgery and Bread Fan and New Disintegrating Parachute Woman, I think is another one that they had. Really, really strange band, but with a rather strange name as well. And like I said, I don't think that helped them in the long run, having a name Budgie, when you're this kind of like proto-metal bands, trying to make it in that world of Sabbath and Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin with these cool names, But regardless, they were some pretty important pioneers when it comes to early metal in the early 70s. And this riff is just killer. Sounds like early Sabbath, but it came out the same year as the first Sabbath album, right? And this is tuned down a half step. Now, guitarists have been tuning down for various reasons throughout the years and throughout the 60s and whatnot. Jimi Hendrix tuned down, but mostly because of his voice. He wasn't really doing it for effect, right? And blues players would tune down for ease of bending notes and whatnot. Not many bands were tuning down for effect, to make their music sound heavier. And a lot of the credit goes to Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath. But know that Tony wasn't tuning down until a couple of years later. Those first two Black Sabbath albums were in standard tuning. And this album came out the same year as Sabbath's debut album. And these guys were tuning down for effect, to make their music sound heavier. And they certainly didn't have to for Burke Shelley's voice, because he had a banshee wail of a voice very similar to Geddy Lee of Rush. But, and that's what Budgie were. They were kind of this cross between Sabbath and Rush, if you can imagine such a thing, with this kind of like doom-laden metal with this banshee wail of a singer like Geddy Lee in Burke Shelley. But a really, really interesting band, and they really created some amazing music. And it's really sad that they didn't find an audience. But this riff... anything more doom metal than that. So we're starting here on the 3rd fret of the low E string. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, open. Right? And then you're going to hit that open E twice, slide into 7 of the low E, and then go down to the 5th fret of the D string and do a little trill between 5 and 6. Right, and then right back to another open E, and then 3, 2, 1, open again. And then the second time you're going to slide into 7, you're going to grab the 5 of the A string, and then open E, and then start the 3, 2, 1 again, right? And then it just repeats. That is a very heavy goddamn riff for 1970, and that just repeats. It repeats for like 32 bars, right? then finally, after about 32 bars, they break into this. Just going from an E major to an A, back to E major, and you repeat that 4 times. And he's kind of strumming most of the strings. And then back into the riff again, right? And after you repeat that riff again for another, I don't know, 12 bars or something like that, it goes back into the E to A to E again. 4 times. And then we drop into this. You're going to repeat that 4 times. F sharp power chord. Then you're going to do a hammer on from 2 to 4 of the A string, and then grab a double stop on the 2nd fret of the D and the G. And then the second time, you're just going to do a double hammer on from 2 to 4, 2 to 4, A to D. So you repeat that 4 times, and then you move it up into C. Play the exact same thing, right? Hammering on now from 8 to 10. Grabbing the double stop on the 8s of the D and the G. And then double hammer-ons from 8 to 10 of the A and then the D, right? And you repeat that 4 times in C. Back to F sharp, right? And then there's a little lead solo here. Right, kind of like that. Just in E minor. 14, 12, 14. Double stop, 14th fret. A little bend release off the 12. And then a bend on the 14, and you repeat that, and the second time you do a bend on the 15 of the B. Right? And then you repeat. And then there's a little solo and whatnot, but that's all we're going to cover. And but just a great heavy riff, this. Great beginner type riff, you know, for metal. And there you have it. That is how you play Guts by Budgie. I certainly hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that like button and drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be very kind and helpful to the growth of my channel. Hope you're well out there, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.